All right, welcome to part 2 of our training video. So we've gone over the weight loss formula, which is the first thing on your list. And I've also brought some stevia here so you can see the Sweet Leaf brand. There's 3 different ones here. There's about 8 different flavors. If you look on Amazon, you can find them. If you want to buy them in single, because a lot of times they're in 3 or 6 on Amazon, you can call my office and we can ship you singles. But it's just about as cheap to purchase them online as is with us. So if you just want to purchase through Amazon, that's the easiest way to do that. Also, I'm a Chiefs fan. My dad was a Chiefs fan, and the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, so this is my cup for today. So I did want to go over that with you too. Go Chiefs. Next thing, so we did the weight loss formula on here. That's number 1. Number 2 is Coral Legend Plus. It'll come in a capsule like this, and it says 1L, 1D. Very easy. 1 at lunch, 1 at dinner. Hopefully that's simple enough. The rest of these are pretty easy. The weight loss formula has all those specific, complicated instructions, but that's the most important thing that you have to do, so really watch that. So Coral Legend, 1 lunch, 1 dinner. Next on the list, it says Bragg's Apple Cider Vinegar. Go to the store and get some Bragg's Apple Cider Vinegar. I want you to get this brand because it's going to help you the most. Also, shake it up really good before you use it. Anything that's liquid, shake it up really good. What this apple cider vinegar is going to do, it's going to help you lose weight better. It's going to do a lot of different things. It's going to decrease degenerative arthritis. It helps with your joints. It helps you digest your food better. It does a bunch of different things. You can look it up online. But the number one most important thing that's going to do the way we're going to use it is to really help stop those cravings that you have. Whether it's worse at nighttime when you come home at night and you're sitting down watching TV, or during the daytime or whenever, use this whenever the cravings are worse. Most of them are worse at nighttime. So like it says in your manual here, it says 2 tablespoons. So yours might say 1 or 2 tablespoons on your manual. But add the apple cider vinegar to a big glass. A glass like this is okay, but I like those big sports bottles that are even bigger. It's going to hold about 24 ounces. I put 15, 20 ounces of water in here, good healthy water. Add apple cider vinegar. I'm going to add 1 or 2 squirts of stevia. This lemon lime stevia goes great in there, and just squirt, squirt. Put as much stevia in there as you want to your taste. You might want less, might want more. Depends how sweet you want it. I don't want to have you take it when it's super, super sweet. Because I want you to start getting used to not having so much sweet stuff in your body, through your tongue, through your brain. So add some stevia, add the apple cider vinegar with the water, add some ice in there, and mix it all up. If your worst time for cravings is after dinner, make this right after dinner and sip on it until bedtime. So right after dinner, keep it in front of you, and you'll just kind of naturally sip on it, finish it by bedtime. If you do that, I think it's going to help tremendously with your cravings. Like I said, if it's worse for your cravings in the afternoon, some people are, most of them are at nighttime. But if your cravings are worse in the morning or afternoon, use this whenever the cravings are worst. All right, number 4 on the list is Psyllium Fiber. And you'll see a bottle in your packet like this. And it's going to say 3M, 3L, 3 in the morning, 3 at lunch. Then you're going to have some other supplements listed below. Most people are going to have either a B12 or a Max B liquid. And it's going to be taken at 1/4 teaspoon in the morning. It's a liquid. What are you going to do with liquids? Shake it up really good. Put a 1/4 teaspoon. You can mix this with 2 or 3 ounces of water and just suck it down really good. If you have some green tea for one of your supplements, this is going to be a liquid as well. It can be mixed with this at the same time and just put it with 2 or 3 ounces of water and chug it down fast. The B's, whether it's the Max B or B12, is really the only thing that doesn't taste good. And you're just going to have to suck it down. Just chug it down really fast. The colder you keep this, you put it in the refrigerator, the colder you keep your water, put some cold water in there, the less you're going to taste it. So put some water in your mouth, squirt this in, chug it down really fast, and you can chug some water behind it to rinse the taste out of your mouth. All right, and then you're going to get some other supplements. These are just a couple samples like the phytomethylated or thyromin. There's a whole bunch of different ones. It's going to be customized to you. If you have 2 more supplements, great. If you have 5 more supplements on this list, the more supplements you have, the more bottles you have, the more messed up your body is, the more you need different things. All these supplements start taking on day 1 until they're done. If you just have 1 bottle of thyromin and there's 60 capsules in here and you're taking it twice a day, in 30 days it's going to run out. If that's what you need, that's what you're going to have in your packet. If you have 2 bottles, then take the first bottle first, and when it runs out, go to the second bottle. But if that's your only bottle, that means after 30 days you're done. We want to get the nutrients up to certain levels in your body. Once we get them there, we don't have to keep taking some things. Some things I might recommend long-term for you. Some things we're not going to do long-term. So go through the whole list. You're going to have your added list at the bottom here. And if you have any questions about that, I can't read something on there, something doesn't make sense, contact us, but it should be real self-explanatory. So remember, day 1's on page 10. Do those 3 things. If Monday, the first of the month is day 1, I'm just saying this for an example. If it is, you're going to start taking your supplements first thing in the morning, including your weight loss formula, the most important thing you're taking. You're going to eat every couple hours, keep your body full all day. Keep taking a lot of these healthy fats, but you're going to get a lot more on day 1. And then if you have sugar issues like we discussed in the last video, get that coconut oil or the brain octane oil, a tablespoon of it, and chug it down right at nighttime on day 1 and day 2. Then we're going to stop that. Hopefully that makes sense for day 1. The next phase is phase 2. Phase 2 goes from day 2 all the way through day 40. So the next 40 days basically is phase 2. In phase 2, we're stopping all sugars, no oils, no grains. Grains are barley, rice, wheat, oatmeal. Those are all grains. We're going to eliminate all grains altogether. So no grains, no sugars. You can have any spice or seasoning you want as long as there's no sugar added. And always look under the ingredients label. Just like on this Bragg's apple cider vinegar, if you look under nutrition facts, I don't care if it says sugar in there. I just want to look under the ingredients. If the ingredients says sugar, then it's a no-no. And I know you're not going to see this in the apple cider vinegar, but if you have a spice or seasoning, kind of like this pink salt, look for that label and just look under the ingredients. Don't look under the nutrition facts. Look only under the ingredients listed. You have in your packet a bottle of pink salt. This is kind of like Himalayan salt, except it's Himalayan salt on steroids. Again, it's really good for you. And if you even have blood pressure issues, it usually doesn't cause any problems with that as well. So this pink salt is a combination of 50%. It's made from 50% Mediterranean sea salt and 50% Hawaiian volcanic sea salt. With those 2 different salts combined, the reason this is pink is because it has 82 trace elements which are essential for weight loss. Essential means your body can't make these trace elements, and it has to get from an outside source to come into your body so you can lose weight good. So essential means you need all 82 of these, and this has this in there. So if you like salt, this is your opportunity to salt away. If you don't like salt, if you don't use salt, I want you to use a little bit on your food each day. You gotta get some of this into your system. This is a great way to do that. Also, when you read your manual and journal, it talks about in there if you are constipated, and a salt water drink can really help cause some loosening of your constipation. So look at that as well. Remember, once we get in phase 2, we're going to eliminate a lot of food that you're putting through your mouth. So it's common to have a bowel movement about every 2 to 6 days once you get in phase 2. But if you have painful bowel movements, if you have painful abdomen because you're not having the bowel movements, if it's really hard to get the bowel movements out, even after 2 to 6 days, then contact us about some things you can do. But that pink salt's one thing you can do. You can read how to do that in here. There's other things as well, but that's a good one you can do on your own. All right, so day 2 through day 40 is phase 2. That's when we start burning the fat. You won't be eating very many calories in phase 2. In fact, we're going to go to 500 to 600 calories per day. And I don't know if you know how many calories 500 calories is, but you can smell food almost and get 500 calories. But when you get into day 3, day 4, your body should be burning about 2,000 calories of fat per day. And all that fat on your body is stored food for emergency. That's why your body puts that fat there. Because 200-300 years ago, we had food for 3 or 4 or 5 months, and then we might not have it for another month. And we had to be able to store food in that fat on our body so we could use that to live off for the next month. So we're going to tell your body, now's the time to start using this fat, and we're going to start burning that fat. So even though you're only eating 500 or 600 calories per day, you should be burning about 2,000 calories of fat on your body per day, give or take. That fat, your body's going to be having a smorgasbord on that fat. And that's why you're going to see your size start disappearing really fast. And that's the neat thing about it. Plus, when you start burning a couple thousand calories of fat per day, you go through that thing we call autophagy, where your body cleans up the old damaged cells or replaces it with the new healthy cells. That's when your body totally reboots itself and gets really healthy. That's when you can see some phenomenal changes if you're sticking to this program 100%. So even though you're only putting 500-600 calories through your mouth, your body's still getting another couple thousand calories of fat per day from burning this food, that fat that's stored food. Does that make sense? You're just not putting that much through your mouth. So in phase 2, from day 2 to day 40, we're going to eat 500 to 600 calories per day. Like it says at the bottom here in the morning, it says 0 calories over here. No food until noon. So we talked about those blood sugar issues. If you're having those, if you know you have blood sugar issues, you're going to do a tablespoon of the brain octane oil, the coconut oil, at night on day 1 and day 2, then stop it all together. Okay? If you're not, then don't worry about any coconut oil or brain octane oil after day 1. So you can have as much tea, coffee, and water as you want all day long. You just can't put sugar in, you can't put milk in, you can't put dairy products in. You can add stevia to it. You can add some regular stevia, you can get some hazelnut stevia, you can get some vanilla stevia that people really like in their coffees. So if you want that, you can do that. You can add some flavored drops to your water, to your tea if you want to. You can put a squirt of a real lime into your tea or water if you want a little change of flavor. But no food until noon. Now, if you have medications that need food, talk to us about that and we'll tell you how to work with that. So check down when you took your weight loss formula in the morning, midday, about 2-3 o'clock, and then dinner. Check down when you took your morning supplements, lunch supplements, dinner supplements. Write down how many calories you had for morning. That should be 0 every day. Excuse me. And write down what you had for lunch and dinner. Ideally, you'd like to have about 300 calories for lunch and about 250 for dinner. That's why it says that in those real light letters over here. But write down what you actually had. So for lunch, you're going to pick one protein from this list, something that you like. If you don't like something on here, don't eat it. You're going to pick one vegetable from this list and one fruit from this list. Same at dinner, one from each category. So how much of each? For proteins here, it lists the different proteins that you can have. And the calories over here are the calories per ounce of that particular protein before you cook it. Just because it says raw beef doesn't mean you're going to eat your beef raw. That's how many calories, about 60 calories per ounce in the beef before you cook it. That's all that means. That's how many calories per ounce before you cook it. So one serving of protein is about 160 to 200 calories. So if you're having beef, about 3 to 4 ounces of beef would fall in that range. If you're having ham, turkey, chicken, it's about 3 or 4 ounces, more about 4 ounces of that. So a good safe thing if you're having beef, whether it's hamburger, steak, roast beef, turkey, or chicken, about 4 ounces is good. If you're having one of these fishes or having some seafood, if it's running about 20, 25 calories per ounce, that means you have to have 6, 7, 8 ounces of that. Cottage cheese is 23 calories an ounce. You need about 7 or 8 ounces of cottage cheese. So it's anywhere from about 3 to 8 ounces of protein, but it doesn't really matter how much you get as long as we end up with 500 to 600 calories total for that day. So you're going to pick one protein from this list for lunch, one vegetable, and you want 2 to 4 cups of vegetables before you cook it, or you can eat it raw, it doesn't matter, but you're going to measure it before you cook it. 2 to 4 cups per meal, and one fruit from this list. And the fruit says exactly how much calories it is. If you see here, and it says apples, 90 calories or 100 calories, and blueberries, half cup, whatever, it says exactly what a serving is and exactly how much calories is. So one of each of these categories for lunch, put down what you had here, total your calories up. You shouldn't spend a lot of time doing this. Once you get through the first week, it should be pretty easy. The first 5 days in this program is the hardest. You're getting used to what has sugar in it and what to avoid, what has oil in it, how to take your supplements, when to take your supplements, how to eat, totaling your calories up. And by day 4, your body should be burning calories at a great rate. It's fat calories. If you're a woman, it takes about to day 4 before you're 100% fat burning. So you might have a little bit of hunger on day 2. It should be better on day 3. And by day 4, that hunger should be really low or nothing. If you rank your hunger through the day on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being I want to chew my arm off because I'm so hungry, 10 being no hunger at all. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. If you rank your hunger throughout the day from 0 to 10, 0 being that you're starving, you want to chew your arm off. 10 being that you have no hunger at all, 0, absolutely no hunger. You want your hunger really low. So you want your hunger at a really low amount. If your hunger is ever high, like you want to chew your arm off high, or I'm just starving, that means you didn't get into fat burning or you're getting out of fat burning. It means you're not burning fat good right now. You need to contact us because you're not burning fat. If you don't do day 1 and what we talked about before we get to day 1 right, you won't be burning fat good at all. Day 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're going to be starving. So start everything else right with a really good day 1, because that's the foundation of going to day 2 where you're not going to be starving and you're going to be burning fat really good. So one of these at lunch, one of these at lunch, one of these at lunch. Same for dinner. Total your calories up. Should be between 500 and 600 calories. If you total lunch and dinner and you're at 450, 480, you have not eaten enough. You will not lose more weight if you go under the 500 calories. You'll lose less. You won't go over, if you go over your 600 calories, you won't lose more weight either. You'll lose less. To lose the most amount of weight, stay within these magic numbers, 500 to 600. Unless you're kind of rare, and we'll tell you different if you're going to have a different calorie range, but almost everybody goes that 500 to 600 calorie range. So if you're only at 450, 480, eat another ounce or 2 of protein to get over that 500 mark. All right? Write this down every day, total it up every day. At the bottom here, it tells you how much water to drink each day. It's going to change each week, so keep looking at this, keep checking it off. We want to increase our water as we go throughout the program, so each week we're going to drink more and more water. So only drink as much water that's in here as listed. Remember, if you have 24 ounces of this vinegar drink at night, that's considered water as well. But if you're having tea or coffee, that's not considered water. So make sure you get at least 64 ounces of water per day to start with. Check down. If you're texting your weight in daily, check that off. When you take your pink salt, when you use it every single day, check that off. When you take your apple cider vinegar drink and you finish it, check it off. Don't check these things off until it's done, until it's finished. I don't care if you made up the apple cider vinegar. If you didn't get it done throughout the day, you can't check it off. So wait till you're done and then check it off. Day 2 through day 40 is exactly the same. So hopefully that helps you understand that. So the most important things about this phase 2, no sugars. You can have any supplement you want. And sometimes you go to the store and pick up like garlic salt, even though this is not garlic salt. And you'll look on the ingredients. It might say garlic, salt, sugar. They can put sugar in anything. So look on the label of everything to make sure there's no sugar in there. Number 1. So any seasoning you want, you can have as long as it doesn't have sugar in there. Next thing is oil. Starting on day 2, we're not going to cook with oil. We're not going to put any oil anywhere in our body, so we can't get any oil in our system. Oil is going to be the biggest thing to mess up your weight loss, to cause you to get stuck, to cause you not lose weight, to cause you to get hungry, to cause you to gain weight. So look on that website, InsideKelly'sKitchen.com, that we went over in the last episode. Look through the oil-free products, make sure everything's listed on there. I'm going to send you another link to a video of other things to watch out for as well. But we're not going to cook with any oil. So don't use any oil in the pan. Don't spray the pan with Pam or any cooking oil. You can use an outside grill. You can use a George Foreman grill. You can use a non-stick pan. You can put water in the pan. You can bake it. You can boil it. You can boil it. You can air fry it. Just don't oil it. Okay? No oil at all. No oil on your skin. It goes right through your skin, goes into your blood just like you're eating oil. So really watch out for your shampoos, your conditioners, your soaps, your body soaps, moisturizers, creams, ointments. If you're going to dye your hair or do your nails, do that before day 2. You can do it at day 1 or before, but don't do it from day 2 through day 40. Anything with a lot of chemicals, understand that most likely going to have oils in there. So anything with a sharp chemical smell, stay away from. If you have to use something like that, use gloves on your hand. If you're doing dishes and you've got a lot of oily dishes from your family's eating this food and you're doing dishes, put gloves on your hands so you don't get oil in there. Oil is the biggest thing that causes problems, so really watch out for the oils. And no grains like we talked about. No rice, no oatmeal, no barley, no quinoa. Only fresh fruits, vegetables, and proteins that's on this list. If you're getting fresh, raw fruits and vegetables, that's the best. If you cook them, that's okay. Canned ones are usually the worst because they have added sugars and oils in there. You can use frozen vegetables, frozen fruits. They usually don't have oils or sugar, but look on the label. And another thing with the proteins, to make this easy to do, you can go to your deli, ask the person behind the deli, what protein, what roast beef, what chicken, what turkey do you have that doesn't have any oil or sugar injected inside the meat or added as a coating or flavoring on the outside of the meat. That's 2 ways they can get that in there. So really make sure you ask them that to figure that out. Usually the higher quality brands are going to have the least amount of things added to that. But ask the person behind the counter, if this roast beef doesn't have any sugar or oil inside or outside, then you can ask her, I would like 6 4-ounce packages of this roast beef. So they'll cut it, they'll weigh it, they'll package it in 4-ounce packages. You can go home, put them in your freezer. If you want roast beef for lunch today, grab your roast beef. You've got it. It's already there. It's cool. It makes it real easy. Grab an apple and grab 2 to 4 cups of vegetables. You got your lunch. If you go to your grocery store to the salad bar, you can get 2 to 4 cups of vegetables already prepared there. Stick them in a box. You got that ready to go. Grab an apple, grab an orange, and get your 4 ounces of turkey there that doesn't have any sugar or oil injected or added to it. And you got your lunch. The biggest thing is prepare today for tomorrow. If you're going to be stuck in a lunch meeting that only has catered food, it's going to have a bunch of food that you shouldn't be eating and probably junky food anyway. Prepare ahead of time. either eat something ahead of time or talk to us about maybe doing a plateau breaker where you're doing an apple day or steak day that day where you're either skipping lunch or you're just having like 6 apples from noon to 6. Talk to us about plateau breakers before you do that, because it's important to understand when you can do them and when you can't do plateau breakers. If you're going to be traveling on an airplane, the travel days are a great day to do plateau breakers. If you get stuck, it's a good day to do plateau breakers. But one day staying at the same weight is not being stuck. You're stuck if you stay at the same weight for 2 days in a row. You want to drop at least a pound every 2 days. Another thing you can have besides this, the deli meat, you can have those tuna in a Ziploc bag, the foil ones. 2 to 3 packs of those is about 160 to 200 calories. Don't get the flavored tuna because they almost all have sugar and oil added to that. Get the tuna packed in water, not oil. When you're eating out, this is another important thing to do. The best thing to eat out is steak or seafood that's grilled or fish that's grilled. Make sure you tell the waiter or waitress, please do not put any oil, butter, fat on my steak when you cook it or after you cook it or on my vegetables. If you're having a salad, make sure there's no croutons added and there's no cheese in there. Make sure it's just lettuce and vegetables. Make sure there's no dressing on there. A good way to have a salad I like, and when I did this program a few years ago, I lost a lot of weight really quick. I've kept it off since then. But I would make it like a lettuce salad up, and I'd squirt some lemon or lime on there with some pink salt. It's really good. You can put a little sprinkle of apple cider vinegar on there if you like that. That's a good way just to eat salads in the future. It's a super healthy way, easy way to do it. It's cheap. It's great for your weight. It's great for your health. Great for everything. So let's see. Oh, the worst thing you can eat out is chicken. And most people think that's the best choice, but that's the absolute worst. And I'll tell you why. Almost all restaurant chicken has oil or sugar injected inside the meat before they even cook it. So even if your chef prepares it with no sugar, no oil added to it, it's already in there. So get rid of the chicken when you eat out. If you're buying chicken at the grocery store, make sure it says on the package, if you have questions, ask somebody behind the counter, that there's no sugar or oil injected inside the meat. All right, so that's the biggest thing to watch out for, the sugars and the oils. Oils are the biggest problem of everything. So that's it for phase 2. The next video will be phase 3 and phase 4. Watch these 2 videos on phase 1 and 2 again in 7 days, especially this phase 2 video, because you forget so much so quick. By tomorrow, you'll forget a lot of this. So you can watch it again tomorrow if you want. The more times you watch it, the more times you read this, the more weight you're going to lose, the more you're going to reinvent your health. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you on the phase 3 and phase 4 videos next.